Do you remember the video about a month ago when I talked about the two possible designs for the iPhone 8? We still have to call it that. Not my choice, but iPhone 8, the two different possible designs. I made a video about that a month ago, and you can check it out right here. But that video was a month ago, and a lot changes in a month. A lot changes in a month in tech overall. And honestly, all the changes are great. Hallelujah, it's raining, baby. All the news is amazing. Do you remember the super ugly design? I mean, here it is. That design was horrendous. Vertical cameras with aluminum, a fingerprint sensor on the back with aluminum, no wireless charging. That design was terrible. That design wouldn't come out from Apple. That's just too ugly. It turned out that that design was just Chinese clones. We didn't really know it at the beginning, but those phones were coming out of factory, not from Apple, but from a different company just trying to stir up the rumor pot. So it's a great thing that that design is now put away in the trash. You could just shoot that in curry and that's put away in the trash. Because that design was horrible. Absolutely horrible. I wouldn't even look to buy the iPhone 8 if it was that design. But the other design that is proven to hold strong all through these months is the design I'm showing you right now. It's a classic design that looks like it's gonna come from Apple. 5.8 inches edge-to-edge display, glass back, vertical cameras, no fingerprint sensor on the back. The sensor bar is all the bezels that are on the front of the phone. The screen curves around that sensor bar, and this just makes it completely edge-to-edge. This is the design that we all want. If you're looking forward to the iPhone 8, this is the design you want to have. And I'm glad to tell you, it's gonna happen. This design is all but confirmed. What I mean by that is that it's a 99.9% chance that it's gonna happen. With only 2 months until the announcement of the iPhone 8, there's just some little changes in the design that could happen. Where is the fingerprint technology gonna be? Is it gonna be in the screen? Is it gonna be on the power button? Is it gonna be removed completely and just replaced with 3D face recognition? We don't know the answer to that Touch ID problem. We are really just gonna have to wait and see until September, until we are finally gonna know about where is the Touch ID. That's a big question. Also, the other question is with the sensor bar. What I mean by the sensor bar, it's located on the front side of the phone with the screen, and it's on the very top of it. It's where the screen is kind of like an antenna. It's kind of sticking out. It's with the speaker and 4 or 3 cameras. We don't know how many cameras or sensors. We don't. But it's with all those sensors, and that's called the sensor bar. But we don't know how that's going to iterate into the software of the iPhone 8. As you may have heard for the past 8 months, the iPhone 8 is going to have a OLED display. Apple has already dealt with OLED displays. I mean, this very here Apple Watch has an OLED display. OLED displays have true blacks. True black blacks. And with the OLED display, what that true black allows for is that it doesn't waste any battery life. None at all. So with that OLED display, there's really 3 options what Apple could do with the software to make that sensor bar and OLED display really look 5.8 inches edge to edge. The first option is just to have the screen continue to extend. So looking through Twitter, the edges will still show, just not the middle part of it. I personally don't like this option. I mean, it's really just not Apple-like in my opinion. But this would allow for the screen to kind of truly be 5.8 inches if you really want all that real estate. The second option, which I want, is just to have the minimalistic cell bars in the top left corner with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, location services. Those squeeze into that top left corner, and that top right corner is gonna be the battery percentage in black. Those 2 sides would be completely black. So it's acting like it's not even part of a screen. Then the bottom would be all real estate for you could use to watch YouTube videos, scroll through social media, text, whatever you do with your phone. The third option, which I dislike more than the first, is to have those minimalistic cell bands and Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and battery life on the right side. But underneath that slim bar is to have another bar with the time and all the other toggles that are on or off. This to me is just a poor use of space. That option just wastes space that we could actually use for something else. We are now just 2 months away from knowing what the iPhone 8 really has. Is the fingerprint sensor going to be built into the display? Is Apple releasing their first ever edge-to-edge phone? These are all questions that are going to be answered in that September keynote. Then there's questions that are still going to linger throughout the process getting to that September keynote. Where's Touch ID going to be? What's the name of the phone? How is Apple going to handle the software of that phone? All these questions that can't really be answered until September when Apple officially announces it. But at least we know Apple's final design. I'd love your thoughts on what do you think of the iPhone 8 final design? And until then, I'll see you in the next one.